It was 4:17 a.m., August 10, 2025. Arizona's desert was silent. No sirens, no footsteps, no warnings. But underground, something was moving. 26 armed men, trained, masked, and deadly, crawled through a newly dug tunnel. A tunnel built for one mission: cross into the United States, bring fentanyl, bring weapons, and claim a piece of American soil. But they didn't know they'd just started a war. Here's the question nobody's asking. Why were they so bold? Did they think America wouldn't fight back? Did they believe the border was just a line on a map, not a wall of steel and blood? In a few minutes, you'll find out exactly why they made that mistake and how Delta Force erased them from existence in under 180 seconds. And trust me, the ending will leave you stunned. The desert wind cut like razors over the Arizona-Sonora border. Beneath 9 meters of rock and sand, a tunnel stretched 1.3 kilometers long, hidden from every drone, every radar, every patrol checkpoint. Then, a tremor, a faint vibration under the desert floor. Small, but the U.S. Border Defense Command had sensors buried deep in the ground. And those sensors woke up. By the time the first masked man stepped out of the tunnel, the signal had already traveled to Fort Bliss. The Pentagon was awake. Mono 11, the Cartel's commander, believed he had the perfect plan. Encrypted radios, silenced M4A1 rifles, infrared goggles. Each man carried a locator chip synced to stolen U.S. training maps. 4 border agents were caught sleeping. They were zip-tied, gagged, and hung against the wall like trophies. No gunfire, no noise, no alarms. Within 4 minutes, the cartel had seized an entire border checkpoint. They thought they were invisible. They thought the U.S. was distracted by conflicts in Asia, in the Middle East, in Ukraine. They thought wrong. From 6,000 meters above, a U.S. Army Gray Eagle UAV hovered silently. Its AI picked up an unusual heat signature. 3 cartel trucks disguised as logistics vehicles. Something didn't fit. Civilian trucks don't emit that much heat, and they don't jam GPS signals. The Pentagon had one question: is this smuggling or an invasion? Lieutenant Colonel Jason Hayes, commander of Delta Force, didn't hesitate. "This isn't smuggling," he said. "This is war." By 5:18 a.m., the order was signed. No press, no politics, no negotiations. The U.S. military had full authority to strike back. And here's where it gets insane. The cartel thought they were ahead of the game. What they didn't know was that America was watching their every move, down to the angle of their tires. Mono 11 and his men were headed toward Cedar Wound, a dying desert town with abandoned warehouses and almost no civilians. Perfect for a hideout, perfect for a trap. Warehouse 57, that's where it would end. Inside Fort Bliss, Delta Force planned a kill box, codename 57 Delta. 3 sniper teams deployed, each carrying Chaitak M200 rifles with a 2.5-kilometer effective range. Switchblade suicide drones launched, circling silently. Cyber Command jammed every radio frequency within 10 miles. The trap was set, but here's the part you can't miss, and it's why you need to stay until the end. This battle wasn't just about stopping these 26 men. Inside one of those trucks was a hard drive, and what was on that drive changed everything about America's war on cartels. At 6:08 a.m., the 3 trucks rolled into Warehouse 57. Mono 11 waved to his men. They thought they were safe. Inside the first truck, 142 kilograms of pure fentanyl, enough to kill half the country. He stepped out, raised his hand to signal unloading, and then silence shattered. Pop. Mono 11 dropped instantly. A sniper's round tore through his forehead, splattering blood across the white cargo. Before anyone could blink, 2 more cartel gunmen collapsed, chest wounds so deep it looked like they'd been drilled open. Panic spread. Some reached for their weapons. They never got the chance. From 400 meters away, a wall-breaching round slammed into the side of the warehouse, detonating inside and flipping one of the trucks like a toy. Concrete dust filled the air, and then Delta Force moved. They didn't knock, they didn't warn. They entered like machines. Silent M4A1s, raised armor-piercing rounds cutting the air. Night vision, finger squeezes, perfect precision. A cartel lookout tried activating a drone jammer on the mezzanine. 2 rounds to the chest stopped him cold. 2 others hiding behind fentanyl containers returned fire. 4 shots total. An M84 flashbang went off. They were blind. They were done. 96 seconds later, 19 cartel members were dead. 4 were critically wounded. One man tried to run through a side door. He triggered a heat-sensitive claymore mine. There was nothing left to identify. At 6:09 a.m., the battle was over. 0 American casualties, 0 hesitation, 0 survivors. But remember that hard drive? This is where the story flips. Among the bodies, one man was still breathing. Luis Elmino Quintero, Mono 11's second-in-command, and the son-in-law of Ovidio Guzman Lopez. Hidden inside his body armor was a 1 terabyte SSD, encrypted with AES 512-bit security. The Pentagon rushed him to a black site. Within hours, U.S. cyber teams decrypted it. What they found changed the rules of the game. 18 hidden storage sites on U.S. soil: Texas, Arizona, Oklahoma, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Fake courier companies, fake farms, fake auto shops, and 37 American names, border agents, drivers, customs officers, all secretly on the cartel's payroll. By noon, coordinated DEA raids hit 5 of those sites, 11 more arrests, millions in cash seized, weapons from Venezuela recovered, and the Sinaloa cartel, they went silent. No more videos, no more threats. The 57 Delta effect. But here's the part that'll keep you awake tonight. That encrypted drive revealed something else. This wasn't random. This wasn't just fentanyl. It was part of a secret campaign called Operación Nido Norte, a plan to establish permanent cartel-controlled zones on U.S. soil. The attack at Warehouse 57 wasn't the end. It was the beginning. That's why the Secretary of Defense went live that afternoon with a chilling warning. Any armed group, state or non-state, that tries to seize U.S. soil will be treated as an enemy military force. There will be no warnings. There will be no survivors. The message was clear. Cross the line and you'll be erased. And yet, intelligence reports now suggest the cartels aren't backing down completely. They're changing tactics. Smaller teams, smarter tech, more tunnels, which means the next Warehouse 57 could happen any day. And when it does, America won't just respond, it'll unleash hell. So here's my question to you. Do you think cartels are testing U.S. borders right now, even after what happened at Warehouse 57? Or was this brutal strike enough to keep them silent forever? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. And if you believe the U.S. must always protect its border with action, not just words, hit subscribe right now, because in the next video, I'll expose something far more dangerous, a hidden cartel operation you haven't heard about yet. Stay alert, because the next battle has already started.